So Ben, what's going on with grading at the moment?
It's a bit of a bloodbath. It's not easy. No, all joking aside, grading it's a nightmare. But like anything, not going to say any news is good news or any publicity is good publicity, but they've got people talking about it, right? And so, hot topic on any of the collectors' tongues right now is what's going on with Ace, what's going on with PSA, or what's going on with grading cards in general, etc. To the point where you've just asked, I've given you the ability to ask me any question that you want, and you've decided to ask me what's going on with grading. So case in point being, it's got people talking about it, right? As for what's actually going on, who knows? There's about 3 million conspiracy theories if you get doom scroll online. My opinion, for what it's worth, is it's just one of those cycles. And so yes, it is challenging to grade with PSA, but it was already challenging enough to grade with PSA. You need a middleman or you need a US address, etc, etc. So for the average collector, Joe Blogs, it was already challenging. All they've done is remove the lower cost tiers, making it more expensive or making you hold off for a minute. Will that have a knock-on effect to grading per se down the road? Absolutely. And you might catch me eating my words, because for the longest time I've said One Piece, in my opinion, probably can't have a respike the way it did end of last year, beginning of this year. But now that we see this massive delay with PSA, all PSA cards in my mind, whilst there's scarcity and whilst there's less supply coming into the market, and the demand hasn't dropped, therefore the price of already PSA graded cards naturally, in my mind from a business perspective, probably increase in value, certainly in the short term. It's certainly the lower value cards, so your £100 to maybe up to £1,000, those type of cards graded, we probably see a spike or a rise in price of those cards. So is it a good time to hold PSA? I don't know. Is it a good time to get in and buy them before this happens? Because it's going to happen. We're in what, June? And if we believe what we're told from PSA, there's a 2 to 4 month closure of the lower tiered grading services. So if you couple that with the fact that the statement was that they've got 10 million card backlog, and all these mathematicians out there going, well, they've got 150 staff and it takes 1 minute to grade a card and they'll never catch up for 20 years. Well, I don't know. I don't believe it all. I think it's exaggerated. Maybe there's a bit of a play going on with them opening up another branch in Germany, etc, etc. But regardless of whether there is 10 million cards in the backlog or more, regardless of whether it's a calculated play in order to push stuff into their new facility in Germany, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that you physically can't send a card off on a £25 service for the next 2 to 4 months, which means then that the average person sending those cards off on lower tier stuff, which normally is lower value stuff, it means that there'll be less of that going in and therefore less of it coming out. And when there's less of anything and the demand is still high, the price goes up. So I did see a couple of posts from other people on Instagram stating it's a good time to buy cards at X. And maybe that's because that's, you know, people pushing their own agendas or trying to sell what they've got a lot of. But I'm inclined to agree with it for the first time in a while, because there is going to be less of that coming on the market, so you probably are going to see a temporary rise in the price of those things. So for a quick flip, not financial advice, but for a quick flip, whilst there is a shortage of this stuff coming into the market in a few months' time, it might be wise to pick up lower end stuff now and watch it climb whilst there's not a lot coming in.